in the coming weeks. The circuit breaker will end on the 1st of June, and thereafter we embark on Phase 1, which we have already announced and explained. Phase 1 alone will see about 75% of the economy resuming operations. Thereafter, we will continue to monitor the situation, particularly over the first 2 weeks of June. If the community transmission, if infection rates over these 2 weeks remain low and stable, then we will decide by the middle of June on whether we want to take the next step to move to Phase 2. And that means that Phase 2 could happen before the end of June. Broadly speaking, Phase 2 will entail the resumption of a wider range of activities, and we expect almost the entire economy to reopen by the start of Phase 2. And the broad items that we are looking at for resumption of activities in Phase 2 would include, for example, retail shops and consumer services. It would include dining in at F&B outlets, but subject to a cap of up to 5 people. It would include the opening of sports facilities and more public venues, including stadiums and swimming pools. It would include allowing social interactions and family visits, again subject to this group size capped at 5 people. There will be activities in higher risk settings which we will have to look at more carefully. These are typically activities or venues with large gatherings of people or close contacts of people in enclosed spaces. They would include places like museums, libraries, cinemas and theaters, religious functions. They would also include venues like bars, pubs, clubs and discos. All of these venues and settings, based on our experience and overseas experience, have been instances where there have been cases of transmission in such settings. And so we want to take a more cautious approach for activities in these areas to resume. We will then discuss with the entities on the precise timing of when they can resume activities within Phase 2. So they may not all resume at the start of Phase 2, but if they have the safeguards and precautions in place, they could resume later, but still within Phase 2.